Um, Welcome here to Can Angels Fly Tarot Live. I'm Nancy, and today we're going to talk, have some generalized, very generalized talk or discussion about law in general. I have no, this is a disclaimer, I have no legal doctrines, or what do you call it, degrees, no accolades, no anything. This is just talking person to person about the significance of the law and to give some basic, share basic information on law. It will be a few minutes before I begin. It usually take about 3 or 4 minutes for the health of my live streams to be in a good place. And so I'm going to wait those 3 or 4 minutes, most likely in silence, writing down some notes and partaking in one of my couple of vices. It's the weekend. Turn up. But thank you for dropping back. So, if you're interested, you can of course get you a little something cool to drink, or something warm to keep you warm. Oh wow, the YouTube was nice this evening. My live stream, I guess, streaming or feed is pretty healthy now. It's green. Okay, so I'm happy to see that. But what I'm waiting for now is I don't have an audience. So if you're viewing later, that's what's taking so long. I'm just waiting to see if anybody will get the last minute notification to this live stream. And taking in my vices. So what I'm going to do to offset the time delay between the beginning of this live stream or the start of this live stream and the actual discussion, you can find below in the comment section the exact time stamp for the moment the discussion begins. But for right now, I'm just writing some little notes. I don't have many notes, just this little bit right there. So, few minutes, about 2 or 3 minutes. We're gonna see how long it takes. Because I do not like talking to myself. And this is bad for your health. Cigarettes, so don't smoke. And this other vice bad for you too. So I'm not promoting anything unhealthy. I'm just doing what I do. So. Yes, come on. Hello? It was something else. Hi. I am just writing down some notes off the top of my head. I'm going to begin this live stream if I get a little audience. But until then, I'm just sitting here partaking in some of my vices. How are you doing this evening? Today, I'm here to have a general conversation or discussion about law. Law is very important to our individual lives, our mundane worlds. We have all types of law, which we will go into shortly. I've been waiting a few minutes just to see if anybody gets any notifications, because I've noticed that my actual live stream audience has thinned to nothing. And so I'm trying to determine, do I continue to do live streams, or do I create videos, or have the algorithms totally isolated me? Just kind of doing a little research as well. So we're going to see what happens. Interesting. One watcher. I don't know if I'm watching myself or if it's another watching, but if it is another that has come to sit in my reading room, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your support, because YouTube is scandalous. I have a few dedicated friends here on YouTube, and so I'm trying to see if they find me, because I haven't been live in a while. So I'm trying to see if they'll see me, notice me, find me, get notified of my presence or not. If you have a burning question, hi Zip. I was on here the other day. Yeah, you were one of the persons that had posed a question to me in a previous live stream that I missed, and I answered it the other day. But I don't have that video posted. I came to visit y'all because I hadn't seen you in a while. How you doing? What's going on with you? I'm partaking in. Hi, I miss you, Jordan. I really did. I miss y'all. I had to come see y'all. I'm trying to see what's going on here, because YouTube is dwindling me away. They probably get rid of my butt after tonight, because tonight I'm talking about generalized conversation about law, because law is very important to our little mediocre, mundane lives. Yes, it is. And so if y'all can be patient with me, if y'all got nothing else to do, I hope you stick around, because I'm just going to sit here and wait a while to see just how many people they allow to find me and come into the room before I begin my discussion on generalized, I must say, this is a disclaimer, generalized discussion on the academic field of the law. And the reason why I say it's generalized, and I give that, what did I call it? I've been partaking, y'all. So I forgot what I was saying. Old people and hard water. Shorts out the memory. Is because I don't hold a degree or any accolades. I don't have the authority as granted by our system to give any legal advice. So this is not legal advice. This is just a generalized discussion. Again, I believe that the law is very important to our common lives, and many of us are oblivious to the power and the purpose of the law. And so I'm just going to talk about it from the perspective in which I know it. And I hope that it ends up, eventually helping somebody out. Well, I'm excited because there are, y'all, I got my camera set up. I think this is going to be, let me see, the issue with me seeing my chat. I got to be able to talk to y'all. Hi. Oh, Seeker. What the hell going on here? Why? Uh-oh, that's not right. What's going on here? An error occurred. Please try again. See, YouTube get mad at me. I ain't doing nothing wrong, YouTube. I stay within the confines of the law at all times. Hi, Seeker. How are you? I have a card up in the card that you may see floating across this live stream at some point in time. It's called Manifest Your Best Life. I cover the law of attraction, the way it's being offered to you, like on YouTube and other formats. I guess the very traditional, um, uh, traditional suggested way to manifest. But I also cover what I have come to know in the course of my life, what it takes to manifest. And so I ask you to check that out. I'm going to have to let my little arrogance fly this evening. And I mean that in a way that I realized that just did a video on law of attraction a few days ago. I know I was just looking at it, Jordan. I started watching it the other day. A bit of a headache. Oh, wow. I hope you, relax. Turn me on low, Seeker. I don't want you, to rattle that up and make it any worse. Nice cup of cold water might help, maybe, to help alleviate that headache. Some light meditation. Have you tried, Seeker, just turning off all of your electronics, the lights, everything, getting butt naked and getting in the bed, just chilling out? Sometimes that helps. Oh, they want to act the fool tonight. You going away?
No, I'm going to get me some Theraflu.
Oh, you sick too now?
I didn't since yesterday.
Oh, y'all got to do something. Ask her to walk with you. It's too late.
I got it, Mom. Go ahead and leave.
It's 10 o'clock.
No, ma'am. I'll be safe.
Be careful, please.
Hey.
Hi, Yanni. I keep refreshing because, thank you. Goddess. Hello, Goddess. Thank you. Same to you, Goddess. What is going on here? Maybe it's a lot of people that are live. I don't know. But I was just saying that I'm going to let my little eagle fly this evening. And the reason why I'm going to let my eagle fly this evening is because I find myself being very irritated. As you know, I'm a frequent flyer here on YouTube now. I'm a YouTube junkie. And so I've been taking in quite a few videos. And some of the things I see, I don't see helpful to others. On some, not all. It's a lot of people out here with some great information, but I see a lot of information that does not seem like it really will help. And so I offer, again, what I've learned in the course of my life. What I know is tried and true. And so I share with you. Of course, it is up to you to, of course, research, investigate, and educate yourself and take yourself to the next level. What I offer you here on this channel is something that I hope can help you in your real life. And I really hope that it will help you ascend to the next level. And so today we're having a generalized discussion about the topic, the subject matter of the law. Again, I reiterate, I do not hold any degrees. I don't have any accolades at all to give any law advice. I'm just sharing the little bit that I know about the law just to bring some common, some basic understanding, to bring some clarity on the subject matter because it affects and touches so many of our lives. So that's why I'm here this evening. And I really don't have any notes. These are my little notes, y'all. So it's very short, brief. I just missed y'all, hadn't seen y'all. And so I've been wanting to get on here and have a discussion. The other day I went live, and it was for the purpose of answering some questions that I had saw that some of you had posted that I missed in previous live streams. And so I answered those questions. So tonight I'm here on another subject. How are you? I've been eliminating more folks, clearing out, customizing my world. Gone with your bad self. Tightening your world up. That can be a good thing. And how I know? Oh yeah. I have very little tolerance for crap. And I know that I'm so judgmental. I learn so much about myself so often. And I realize that I'm so judgmental. I do understand why I'm judgmental. It is because I'm an Aquarius. Therefore, my classical ruler is Saturn, and my most, what do you call it? Contemporary ruler is Uranus. And so that Saturn rulership, I'm very serious minded, when it comes to this world. Yeah, Uranus, thank you. Thank you, Jordan. You see, I've been partaking in some, I'll say, what they call it? Hot water. What they call it? Hot water? Or something like that. Fire water. And so I try to hang loose, and be a little silly and stuff. But I'm very serious minded because life life is full of challenges, and I think that we should be able to meet challenges. In my immediate, intimate world, as I travel through, my location, I meet a lot of people, and they don't have the capacity to battle against some of life challenges. And so I offer what I've come to know through my experiences, hoping that it will assist, other people and be able to meet them challenges of life. But I guess my lack of success here on YouTube has to do with the fact that I don't dive much into like love and the very simplistic, sweet, harmonious and desirable aspects of life, which is good. I just don't know how to talk about those things in a generalized manner because it's such an intimate thing. And if I go into it, might be deemed pornography. So I'm gonna leave it alone. It'd be just too exotic, I'll say. Too exotic. But yes, it is. Unless I feel adored by whomever, I know I'm no longer in the space for love. Me too, and that's me. And there I am. That's a part of my, I guess, judgmental state, very serious-minded state. Aquarius says we offer so much. Try to find us on every corner. Good, right? That's who I am. So all of the little frivolous, flirtatious kind of energy, I was out of that in my 20s. I'm almost 50 now. And so I guess that part of me has faded away a little bit. It's still there. But it has its appropriate times. And since I've been on YouTube and the messages that I've gotten from astrological interpretations, my own personal life, as well as the people that I read, most of us that I've seen are dealing with very serious matters. Love is one of them, but there are bigger fish to fry, it seems. We are serious. It's time to be serious. Yeah, and that's what I realized over the last 4 years or so. It's time to be serious. And in the last live stream that I did the other day, when I came to touch base with you, ladies and gentlemen, and answer the questions that you had asked that had missed during previous live streams, I was sharing that I've been very irritated with some of the messages that I've seen, especially here on YouTube, because I was like, and I'm not trying to down nobody's work, so I'm not saying no names or nothing, but a lot of the information that people give, I don't see how it can actually help a person in a real physical life. I believe in saving lives. I believe in sustaining lives. I believe in enhancing lives. And so the information that I offer, I'm hoping that it does that for people. And when I was talking the other day on the live stream, all of a sudden I was sharing in that live stream, I reflected upon a movie I saw. It was called Man on the Moon. Whoever was on the live told me the name of the movie, Man on the Moon. And I don't remember nothing about the movie except for, I guess, the end. I got to go find out if it was at the end. At the end, it was Jim Carrey played the main figure character. And at the end, whoever he was playing was dying of a terminal illness. And they had leaned upon some type of like alternative healing. And I'm not saying there's no alternative healing. You just have to be careful who you're under. But in the movie, he realized the Sherman or the medicine man was a fraud when the man reached over him, went down in a bowl and pulled up like some sea creature or shrimp or something that was like in some iodine and slid it across his side and pulled it up to show all the people that was following him that he pulled the illness out. At that time, whoever Jim Carrey was playing, the character he was playing, because I think it was about a real life person. They told me his name the other day. But Jim Carrey saw the man do that, and he just started laughing because the man was a comedian in real life. He just started what's his name, Lachka, or something like that. He just, from Taxi, he just started laughing like, damn, I done got, oh, God, damn, I done got. And now I'm about to, yes. Hi, can I call you back? I'm live on YouTube, okay? Bye. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not going to tell a whole bunch of business, but Andy, right. You were here. Yeah, thank you, Yanni. And how, so you, that scene, ever since I said that on the live stream the other day, and it came to my mind because I told you I was having an issue about people being recipients of spiritual information that ultimately wouldn't benefit them. And the only way they would find out that they were being frauded or misled would be at the last moment, like that character Andy. When he saw that medicine man do that to him, he knew he had been frauded. He knew then that he would suffer the pains of death because he believed in something or he followed something that wasn't real. And so, that has been on my mind because I was like, because I tell you, I tell y'all everything here, especially about the spirituality. And I'm like, if we are here to be re-educated, healed, and made whole, in order to be basically cleansed for the purpose of being acceptable to that which is divinity, then our actual souls depend on it. I don't want it to be spiritual. I'm trying to talk about it the way that it is. And so that's been an issue. And that's what I realized. Remember, Yoni in last night said, I'm just going to shut my mouth and be quiet, because what it boils down to, those that are misled will find out at the end, or find out basically when it's too late. Now, at this time, I got to talk about this phone call I just got. I foresaw somebody's life experience 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I told him of it. He said, "Oh yeah," and I told him about it. And now that uh, what I foresaw has come into being, now they continue to call. Uh, what can I do now when you were foretold years prior, and you had 5 or 6 years to work on the exact situation so that this moment wouldn't be, or it could, again, I like this word, offset. Um, I bring that up because it's interesting, because we have people that are either following and being misled, or um, when we do hear uh, a life supporting message, we don't take it serious and we don't move upon it. And being forewarned is forearmed. But of course, we have to embrace it. Anyway, I just been rambling because I'm trying to see exactly how many people YouTube would allow to come visit me here in my reading room. I'm gonna call this the reading room for now, y'all. So I'm about to read the chat. Then I'm going to start with the discussion about the law, because it's very significant in our lives. The chat says, Venus is in our sign. The planet of love is knocking on the door. Is that what it is, Jordan? That would be nice. I ain't gonna say I hope so, but that would be nice. Love. Okay. Anyway, I want to talk about, again, the law. I don't have a lot of notes, just a general conversation. Once again, I reiterate, I have no certifications or degrees or anything that will permit me to offer anybody any legal advice. This is just a generalized discussion. The law, what is the law? Well, for this live stream, I'm not looking up the definition, I guess, so much of law. But what laws are created for is in order to help structure, humanity, civilization, in order to help frame our behavior. And politics go hand in hand with the law. Why is it important to be politically active? You went to the store fast.
It's dark and it's cold and I ain't wasting my time.
Well, I'm happy to see that. Why do politics and the law go hand in hand? Tap into the energy and you'll see. And okay, Jordan. And we'll talk about, somebody watch later, tapping into the energy of Venus. Retrograde has begun. I feel like this means remember who's on your nerves and eliminate it, or them immediately. Clear energy field is the goal. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with it. Whatever you got to do to have some peace of mind, you got to do it. You got to do it if it's possible. And I could make a whole nother video about that, definitely. So why does the law and political politics go hand in hand? It is because the way our system is set up, there are selected people, politicians, that set up or speak, I'll say, for the people. No, I'm going to say this. Now, I don't want to go like that. I just want to stay focused. I'm trying to stay focused. And so these politicians rally for particular laws, understanding that whatever laws are on the books will be what controls the people's behavior. Another part or facet that goes immediately with the law and politics is law enforcement. Why is law enforcement relevant? Because once politicians come together and create whatever set of laws, and they are put on the record or on a book, then there has to be someone to enforce those laws and to let it be known to the general populace what is wrong and what is right. Now, law. Well, before I go any further, I just want to share this with you. It's very brief because when I speak, I'm speaking basically of our judicial law. But as human beings, we must understand there are many different, I'll say, branches of law. There are, here, I'm going to get rid of this, to share this. Going to www.wackpedia.com. I'm just looking up under the academic discipline of law. And as you can see, I'm going to read off as many of these branches as I can possibly pronounce, just to show how many branches of law man has created. And each of these branches of law affect one or another of these branches of law affect each of us every day. As you can see, the outline of law has administrative law. What is that? Canon law, civil law, admiralty law, animal rights, civil procedure, common law, contract law, corporations, environmental law, family law, federal law, international law, public international law. I don't even know what's this. Superior national law. We'll have to study that. Labor law, property law, tax law, tort law, comparative law, competition law, constitutional law, civil law. Did I say civil law? Not civil law. Criminal law, criminal justice, criminal procedures, forensic science, police science, Islamic law, Jewish law. Ooh, what's this? Jurisprudence, or the philosophy of law, legal management, business law, corporate law. What's this? Mercantile? I don't know. Y'all tell me. Law. Procedural law. What's this? I don't know. I've been drinking fire water. Substantive law. Let's see. There are more, but I can't see it. And it's not going, it's not going to let me see it. So I'm not going to mess around. That's just half the page of the law. I know it's not going to let me see it, because I don't know how to move it around. And so I ain't going to worry about it, because this is just a general conversation. Just wanted to draw attention to just how many different branches of law there are. And that was just half of the ones, branches of laws. Thanks, Lily. Created by man. But then we also have laws that exist on different social levels, I'll say. And the social levels are, like local laws, like the city. and they usually come in ordinances and codes. Then there's state laws, federal laws, and then guess what, y'all? It's universal laws as well. And then there's also divine law. All of these levels of law we are up under, but we don't understand the significance, many of us, of these laws over our life, and how these laws, these ordinances, these policies, these regulations, and these codes dictate our behavior. There's an outlaw, and it's definitely an outlaw. It's for, look, all these laws is for outlaws. Definitely. But see, that's a good one, Yoni. I see, I'm back calling you Yanni. That's a good one. An outlaw. Because a person can be an outlaw, but if they know the law, they know how to do the magician thing and, you know, tweak things in their favor. We know that. We know that. As mentioned, this is just a very short, generalized discussion about law. And what I want to make sure that everyone is aware of, that I know about relative to these laws, is number one, divine law trumps everything. You can call me Yoni. Thank you. That's my Detroit accent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Divine law trumps everything. And most of us don't realize that divine law trumps everything. And the reason is that divine law is such an, I'll say, an enhanced frequency that many times it doesn't seem like God hears our prayers. I'll say it like that. Because divine law is all encompassing. And so sometimes it takes a very long time in relationship to our time period to see divine law come into place. But understand this, that divine law trumps everything. So when you learn who divinity is and what divinity's laws, rules, regulations, and codes are, trust and believe all those rules, laws, regulations, and codes are in play 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. But again, we are on such a short time frame that, and divinity is on such a grand time frame that sometimes it doesn't seem, again, like God hears our prayers. However, when you hear him say all is in control and all happens in God's time and all that, that's what it means. I like that enhanced frequency, right? And so we're down here in this very low frequency place, and our time frame is quick, it's short, and it's brief. And so what we stand face to face with are the laws, we'll say, of the land, the laws of the land. And the laws of the land are the federal, the state, and the local. And then there is another law, and this other law is called universal law. We've talked about it before here on this channel. And that universal law has to do with what takes place in this realm, I'll say. And those laws are in play 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we usually see those manifest in the physical, it seems, more often than we see divine law manifest in the physical. But don't get it twisted. Divine law and universal law are active 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And with that being said, understand that the Creator hasn't forgotten you and never will forget you. So, the next thing I want to talk about, and primarily is what I'll be focusing on, are the laws that have been created by man in order to control the actions and the movement of people, the people of that create humanity. And how, again, these laws are put in place by various political groups and are enforced by the various departments of law enforcement. Now, all this stuff we take for granted, and but there are a lot of people that aren't aware of this. That's why I think it's important to talk about it. So you know exactly what you're dealing with. Every single branch of law that I read off of Wikipedia, as well as the various levels as far as, local, state, federal, even universal and divine. All of those areas of law have their own language. You hear me talk about the language. I thought you were from Louisiana. No, I'm from Detroit. I wonder what made you think that, Jordan. I just looked up there and saw that. Have their own language. And so, why am I bringing up language? I often do. It is because it's important to know the language of the laws that govern you. When I say language, I know you're like, what are you talking about, Nancy? I'm talking about, it depends on which area of law or branch of law we're discussing. Whether it has to do with man's law or God's law. Each of them have their own language, which means they have a whole vocabulary list, their own vocabulary list. Your Southern accent. I got a Southern accent. What? That's that Aquarius thing. Now, I kind of heard that before, like when I was in Texas, but the Texans was saying, hello? No, I'll be off in about an hour. Is it important? No, I'm live. Okay, well, I'll call you back. I ain't going to be on long. I said I will call you back. I won't be here long. I will call you back. I won't be long. Okay. I apologize. Language. Vocabulary. Prayer. Talking about praying. Hey, Cherry Whiskey, I ain't seen you in a long time. What's going on with you, girl? Hope all is well. Prayer. Let's talk about prayer. Because it's been a while since I actually got on my knees and prayed. Does prayer work? I do believe it does. Meditation. Okay, yeah. That's what you've been up to. Or meditation. Does it work? I do believe that prayer, meditation does work. But I think there's a key to it, to doing it right. And one of the main keys is you got to know the language. What's the language? What is the unique vocabulary list that lines up with universal law and divine law? If you're going to pray, if you're going to meditate. And when I start talking about just talking about divine law and universal law and its vocabulary, those vocabulary words, just like when you was in elementary school, you know, you had to write the word, learn how to spell a word, then you had to write the definition about 100 times. In 1 week, you had to know how to spell a word and the definition of the word and how to use it in a sentence. I contend the same thing stands true when it comes to supplication, meditation, and prayer. Now, let's bring it down to the 3D, because we was up there in the 9th dimension and stuff like that. I think that's what they were talking about up there. Bring it down here. Now, when we deal with the law, all of those branches of law I was talking about, read off of Wikipedia, and also talking about the local city ordinances, codes, the state level, the federal level, guess what? They too have language. And their language is created of a list of vocabulary words that we need to become common with. Of course, where would you start? You would start with whatever field of law has to do with what you got going on in your life. Do you have family law issues? What? Do you have, what were some of the other ones? Whatever some of the other ones were. Let me see. You can have, where was it at? Do you have civil issues, or do you have contractual law issues? As I mentioned, family issues. Hold on. Do you have any labor law issues? Moreover, do you have any property law issues? This time of year. Do you have any tax issues? Well, I ask you this because these areas of law have their own language. Where am I at? I lost myself. They have their own language. And if you want to be able to stand up and make your supplication to another, or if you want to have a mediation, not meditation, but a mediation, then you have to know the language of the law. And just like I was talking about when we were in elementary, how we had to learn how to spell a word, write the definition, and then be able to use it in a common sentence, the same thing stands true even with man-made laws. Why is this important? Because these different areas of law affect our lives every day, all day long. Some on very major levels where we actually have to end up going, getting dressed up, going to court and doing all that and putting our hand on the Bible. And other times, it's things that we can do from the privacy of our own home through different emails and things like that. And the reason why, again, I'm bringing this up is because I just want to bring awareness to how important it is to understand what you're dealing with. What I offer here on this channel is practical information. I help you, as far as tarot reading, see your storyline in a pictorial form through pictures. I help you to be able to organize your thoughts and to receive any messages that might shine light on where you are weak so that you can become strong, or where you can re-educate yourself. And a lot of what I've been seeing is that when it comes to real practical issues and concerns. There are a lot of legal um, legal terms and conditions that exist that many of us common folk aren't aware of. I don't know if I'm making this make sense. Even in our intimate, romantic associations and connections with others, it is a legal contract. I have a live stream. No, I don't think I was live streaming in, but a video here, and it's called contracts or contractual agreements. It's in two parts, and I go over every type of contractual agreement you can enter with the person. Everything from just meeting a person and saying hello is a contract, or stopping to say hello with a person and walking off and leaving your phone in their possession unknowingly. That's a type of contract. Each type of contract that we have with others has its own unique set of terms and conditions. And so what am I saying again? I'm saying we're dealing with kind of like law matters or legal matters every day. Some of them are minute, or we might call superficial. And others, again, we might have to get dressed up and go visit the courthouse. And so I just thought it would be very important to be able to see distinctly how many branches of law there are. I was only able to share a few because I didn't know how to work the Wikipedia online. I also wanted to make you aware that the law is on multiple levels. It is local, again, like your city, and it usually has ordinances and codes, right? It's also the state, it's the federal, and it's universal law. Now, all of these laws that have been created down through the years, and those that will be, are, what can I say, stored in, well, everything is getting high tech, but it used to be stored like in books, law books. And they are put in order by subject matter. This is just common information that I just want to share that I know so that you'll know. So if you ever have to find something, maybe you can find something. At least you can get started. It's in order. It's in order by subject matter. And every time there's a change that takes place in our real physical world, they amend it. You know, AMEND, they amend it. And they let you know right there. They've amended it. They made a change. And so, again, everything is moving from the old paradigm into the new paradigm. With that being said, relative to the law, it's moving from books to, what do you call it, online, or what would they call that? Something online, something, you know what I'm talking about. And so you can access a lot of the law information online. One of my favorite places to go is called Carnell. I think it's Carnell Law. I mean, now, why am I saying this? I'm saying, hey, in your free time, sometimes you ain't got nothing, but you're just taking a little sip. I ain't gonna let y'all see. You're taking a little sip. Sometimes you might just want to research so that you can do what? Be ahead of the game. You know? Because sometimes we encounter enemies in our life of different type. Everything from family members to neighbors to businesses, corporations, all kind of things. And so when you have to deal with these situations and circumstances, oh, I should have put the magician up here. You should be able to manipulate those circumstances and situations in your favor to the best of your ability. But you got to have some abilities. And I'm not saying that y'all, that come visit me, that love me, I'm not saying you don't have abilities. For those that do, I'm so happy that you do. But what I've been noticing recently, again, in my intimate environment, is a lot of people don't have the fundamental basics. What fundamental basics am I talking about? the stuff I just shared right here. Just as out of order and as simple as that was, a lot of people don't have them basics. I do believe that we're coming into a time period in the history of humanity that these, what we call it, this knowledge will be beneficial to the common people. And so I just want to begin to, I'm going to add a little new category here where I just share the little bit I've learned in the course of my life to survive. Because again, I noticed that everybody hasn't been able to acquire the same things that I acquire and have acquired. And I just come to know that in the last, couple of years of my life, what I got might not be what you got, and it goes on and on. Do y'all know anything that you can add to? Oh, another thing I didn't mention is that there are biblical laws as well. That might be something that a person might be interested in looking up. I mean, it depends. It depends on what you got going on in your life. Everybody's life is different, and there's a law for every part and aspect of your life, including, check this out, I don't know, just throwing out general information. It's called, oh my God, it's called, oh my goodness, just slipped my mind that quick. It's like a cohabitation law. Oh my goodness. It's a cohabitation law that used to exist. Again, the laws are changed based on the political party's interests. But there used to be a law where after you cohabitated, common law marriage in many states is outdated now, I really think. But it used to be a law, and I'm just sharing this for those that are in relationships. It used to be a law called the common law marriage, where after you spend so many years together, living together, working together, loving together, that you were deemed married in the eyes of the law. I know at least in the state of Michigan, I think it was outdated in 1961. That's an amendment, And I say that because I believe that we need to get more politically active, but we got to understand why we need to get more politically active. For what reason? The reason is so we can collectively execute the powers of the tarot magician, so that we can manipulate the circumstances and situations of this in this physical world to our favor. When I say our favor, I'm talking about the common man and woman in this world. And if we, oh my God, if we had like minds, if we had a common goal, we could really accomplish something. But it's hard to accomplish something when, number one, half the people don't know what's going on. It's hard to accomplish something. It is hard to, another thing, I'll say this, that I've noticed recently, is that a lot of people are in relationships. They are not legally married, but they've invested a whole lot in each other's lives. That common law marriage thing that used to exist will really be beneficial during this time and age when people not having big lavish weddings and going to get married and doing different things. That common law marriage could be beneficial as far as, if we could bring it back and set up the criteria. Because, we talking about health benefits, what do you call it? You have a person that is your, what's the word for it? I can't even think of it. I ain't writing no notes, y'all. Y'all know I'm short-minded, especially when I'm drinking fire water. What is it called? like person having custody or oh, or guardianship. I can't think of the word over you. Like when you get sick. Again, I'm bringing this up because I really believe we're going into a time that we need to be more aware and more active so that we can ultimately really be able to enhance the quality of our lives here in this physical world. We have to remember that Uranus is now moving back into Taurus. Uranus went back into Aries. I think it's Uranus went back into Aries, saying, are you sure that you want this particular social structure in place? Are you sure you want this law in place? Are you sure you want this institution in place? Are you sure you want to walk through this world the way you setting it up? Is the question. And then when Uranus is, I think it's Uranus, I might be off, but Uranus is in Taurus, then suddenly these things are like they are all of a sudden popped out of nowhere, manifested in the physical, in our physical world. And we have to deal with those things. Now, I do speak generally because these various social or physical constructs that I speak of are broad and wide. Hey, who is that? Hey, Gigi, you done changed your name? Is you cussing? Showdown, countdown. I'm going to have to talk to you. I'm sorry. I've been running my mouth going into space. And Joy says those laws are arbitrary and not fit for purpose. And Yanni says, I don't mean to interrupt. What about the phone call? Same thing. See, what I've noticed, I'm coming back to that, Yanni, in a minute. Clear man's law. It's clear man's law is a control freak. Definitely. Someone so out of control, they or it control others. People don't know a lot. Yeah, and they don't. And I understand why. I'm on my, oh, I see. Okay, you're on your brother's phone. Okay. That makes sense. Power of eternity. Is that what I'm reading? Cherry Whiskey, eternity. This was like, yeah, and that's what it was like because, I mean, let's say humans have been here hundreds and hundreds of years. I ain't even going to the thousands or the millions. I'm talking about just hundreds and hundreds of years we've been here. And in these hundreds and hundreds of years, we've come from getting out in the fields, doing real hard labor and not having time to study and learn, to going into factories, working for the man without no time to learn. Working, I remember when I was in school, the discussion one day in lecture was about the factory line and how people's minds were being molded through their work because they just did the same thing day in, day out, day in, day out for 40 years, day in, day out. And so, of course, that suppressed their intellectual growth and stunted their intellectual stimulation, being stimulated. And because all they was trying to do, I'm sure many times, was just get through the god dang day, working all of them hours. Some people 12 hours, 16 hours, working on the assembly line. Other people even 8 hours in the office, closed in, And so it has dimmed or dulled people's minds, intellect down. And then it was handed down to the next generation because the parents didn't have it to, give it to their children. They may have a little conversation, but it probably was nothing really intense or deep or anything like that. But the good part was, and where the system, I don't think they foresaw, they foresaw this glitch, but that's a whole nother video, is that generation right there when the middle class was booming and stuff like that, is that they sent all of their children went to college and they were able to be intellectually stimulated, and so they are very, very knowledgeable now. And now they have their children, and even the grandchildren are here. So what? The age of Aquarius is here. Look how everything lines up. And so I guess I'm here to say, hey, I know those people that did get stimulated one way or another, traveling the world, being around the right people, smoking some mushrooms. I don't know what they had to do, but they got stimulated. They intellectually stimulated, heightened, visiting other realms. They're ready. But there's so many people that are part of the old paradigm, from the old system of things, and they had to, again, dumb down in order to make it through the situation of the time, or the the lifestyle, or energies of that time. But now you still here. If a person watching that, you still here. It's time to wake up, because you hold, and I'm not talking about y'all, I'm talking about anybody from the old paradigm that's still here for the new paradigm. You hold a level of power, and you have to be able to execute your power. And that was another thing that I had been seeing, is that the older generation was losing their power. They were losing their political power, financial power, and just like, what they say, sitting and like waiting for death, sitting and letting life go past them. I'm talking about women that have been married for 20, 30 years and end up divorced, raised all the kids, feel like they worn out. People that worked for 30, 40 years and looked up in the mirror and they done aged, 20, 30 years older, don't have friends watching. A lot of people weren't willingly, voluntarily losing their power, because they don't know where they fit in. And how they fit in is because they got a hell of a knowledge base. They got some of the last hands-on experience. And so they know things from life. They know things from actually, again, witnessing it, experiencing it. Again, they were in the height of the development of the middle and upper class, and so they really got more of a hands-on what it mean to mess with more bigger money. It's a lot of people that ain't never had their hands on a considerable amount of money, and they don't know how to work with it. He says, attorney LLI, suck at spelling. Me too. Spell check. Spell check all day long. And I gotta watch that too. Let's see. I get why, but wow. When you have control over someone's decisions while still alive, oh yeah, definitely. You can't never let nobody have power over you. And that's why I'm going back to these laws. And that's the law I was trying to think of, Cherry Whiskey, where, like you said, while you're still alive, to have somebody have control over your decisions is counterproductive and detrimental. But in the case that in the course of a person's life, if they become incapacitated, who will be there? I almost had it. What's they call it? Power. Who will you give power of attorney to? See, this is important. See, people don't want to come mess with me when we start talking about, you don't want me to read for you. Because if you're in love with somebody, you have, if you care about yourself and your well-being and your children, you have to be aware of who you in a relationship with. I'm guilty. I had to learn it. So I'm not being judgmental because I had to really learn it. But if you become sick or incapacitated, who are you in a romantic contract with? You know what I'm saying? What's the terms and conditions? Have they shown you that they can step up to the plate if you ever, get in a position where you can't handle your business? And that's with the power of attorney. Power of attorney? Yeah, power of attorney. And so these things are important. And again, I feel like we're moving into a time period in which this kind of knowledge, at least the basics, need to be known, because people, I've been a witness to people losing everything they got because the person they with was just in the right place at the right time, and that person's significant other took everything, and the children ended up without. Different things like that. It even goes as far as like young women, very young women, I'll say, even men. But you get in a relationship with a person, and that person doesn't have a job. They don't have no, they're not vested in Social Security or setting up an annuity or, the real life stuff. And that person leaves you, then you're left raising a child by yourself, having to deal with welfare. I made my mistakes. I did that. I was just looking at it. He was cute. You know what I'm saying? And so this is the kind of real life things we need to look at relative to law. See, law, like I said, is a part of our everyday life, even down to the intricate details. And so we need to be, or I think we need to be aware. Maybe I'm presumptuous is the term. Look, I don't know. Possibly. And say the whole system needs to be revamped. I'm tired of it. Me too. Me too. I'm absolutely disgusted with it. But it's much older than myself, Jordan. So I know it's much older than you, the whole system. Much older than most of us. And so it's been long standing, tried and true. And it's breaking down and it's fighting. It's fighting not to go. And that, remember, when we talk about something breaking down, it's the death card. That thing that can die, but it's going to put up a fight. And it has a whole body of people in this world. And so they're going to put up a fight. So death card say, if you don't die, then you must transform this body. And so what am I saying? This old paradigm or our current situation that is dying, it's not dying, it's transforming. Because that's the laws of nature. That's another law. The laws of nature. What does the laws of nature say? Let me stop going into the laws of nature. Why are the laws of nature significant to our everyday life? It's because some of us are buying homes and property, and there are, what do they call it, them pitfall things. I can never remember what they call it, pitfalls and all that kind of stuff. I talk about all this kind of stuff. The laws say that if you drill up a hole, then that hole got to fill itself. That's a law of nature. Gravity going to pull down on it. And so I bring that up because, again, all of these various branches of law are active in our lives, even into the smallest, minute detail. And it's very important to understand, you Halo Queen, I'm on your phone, I'm on my phone now, on your phone now, now because my brother's phone, your live is acting up. Really, I can believe it. They don't, YouTube just get on my nerves. It's probably a lot of folks on YouTube live now. I just came on here for a little while, and Nancy, I'm trying to find people that really want to hold and not a morally fragmented. That's difficult. That's difficult. Because that's really that Scorpio energy. I don't know if I don't even know which video I talked about this being that we reside in and how its subconscious is what is creating our new paradigm or our upcoming reality. And its subconscious is our subconscious. Everything that we push to the back of our mind is now coming to the forefront of its mind. And it's making it happen in this physical realm. And so we're talking about like the R. Kelly stuff with the hoeing, pimping, raping, disrespecting people, what they call it, just every little negative ill that we ignored for many years. I believe is coming into existence in an explosive way. But the catch is, this is a catch, I remember reading this in the stars, is that it's like our world, remember, it has the potential to be a paradise. So we can easily decorate it and make it really beautiful, paradise-like. Beautiful, beautiful homes, cars, beautiful people, but we forget that it's the soul that matters. And see, the time period that we're going in, it is the soul that is devastated. Like I say, it's not whole, it's fragmented, it's morally fragmented. So imagine a morally fragmented soul in this beautiful physical paradise. That's the kind of realm we're going in. And there's going to be laws that support the philosophical beliefs of whoever leads any part of this world. Again, many levels being activated simultaneously. And so much to do, so much to do. I tell you, a whole system. Okay, I did that. Pluto is in Capricorn on January 12th, 2020. I thought it was already there. It's somewhere else. Pluto and Saturn will make their conjunction, and everything in the status quo will turn down, and I can't wait to see it. I hope so. Because 2020, remember I was talking about, when was that? And when I did that video talking about 5G, I think it's April something, 2020, is when the 5G system will be synchronized internationally, meaning that is what? How many continents is it? 7? I don't know, 7, 9, whatever it is. That the 5G in every continent is going to be linked up. It's going to be linked up all over. So it's like that whole system, it's going to be a whole new being or creature that exists here that we can't see, like another spiritual being to be here. It's already little parts of it all over the place. But see, we don't know just how sophisticated and advanced this 5G system is. But when because it's all in little parts and pieces, like they put this part up here, they put this part here, they put these parts here all through the communities with the, as far as the Wi-Fi and the cell phones, but it's mega pieces, like the parts on the sun. Where are the parts at? And through my experiences, I know it was the sun. It was the sun, and what else was it? It was the sun. I can't think now, but I know the sun is a major part of that 5G. It has its own unit there, and it has its own function there. I shared in my video talking about European microwave about 4 years ago that was how they controlled or regulated the radiation and the heat of the sun. They control it, and I showed revealed how you could see it yourself, and so that's just one component of that 5G system. Then it's the whole thing about running it through our immediate local areas. They talk about the poles and things, but it's so many other parts to it, and all of that stuff is going to be linked up April 2020. Whole new being. And now back to Yanni. You was asking about that phone call. Do you think these high-tech symptoms are being downloaded from other beings, or are the other beings running this show already in full effect? You know what? That's what I'm not quite clear on. And the reason why I'm not quite clear on that, Yanni, is because number one, I have very, very limited awareness about any like extraterrestrial beings. The beings that I speak about are within our realm. And when I say realm, I'm talking about in our atmosphere, in our actual physical world. So I don't know if it's anything outside that is coming in or has an interest. I don't got that information. And the high-tech systems are being downloaded from other beings. That I see. This is another thing. When you hear me talk about, I got a video out called "This Place" and whatever else the title says, called "This Place." I talk about this physical realm, and even in that Bird Box movie, I give an example of what I mean by this realm when I talk about Saturn's cube. And everything, what I know for sure is, I can't say I know for sure, but I know what I'm saying to be true, 100% true. But I don't know if, again, it's any additives outside of this realm. But what I know is that what we have, most of what we have going on here, anything, television, TV, radio waves, all that belongs to this realm. Just like your physical body belongs to this realm. The soul don't belong to this realm. It's visiting this realm. But everything we use to make houses, everything we create here as creators, on whichever level you are, all belongs to this realm and does not go outside of this realm. And I'm not just talking about off of it go. When I say this realm, I'm not just talking about this earth, because we have our air, our environment, our stratosphere, and all those kind of things. That is a part of our realm or our dimension here. And so everything that takes place, including the technology, already existed in this realm. What we had to come to learn was what goes with what to create what. Putting puzzle pieces together. And so that's a puzzle piece that they figured out. You can look at it like this. I don't know how old you are, Yanni, but if you're old enough, you might remember the old black and white TVs. And could you imagine the frequency that those particular type of staticky TVs were on? Those TVs and the programming only stayed on so many hours a day. Then we advanced to the color TV, rising up in the frequency, and then on to the more high-tech television sets and things like that, rising completely up in the frequency. And now you see where we are today as far as televisions, smart televisions with Wi-Fi. And so why do I bring that up? All those multiple frequencies relative to televisions is because guess what? Those very first frequencies that were being used for the black and white TV still exist in this realm. We're just not using them, at least for TVs. We're not using them for that. But they're still there. They're still there. All of them are still there, still active, still moving. And so I really wonder, my question is being, what is being done with those lower frequencies? That's what I'm wondering. Many people are still ignorant. It's time to wake up and see what's actually going on. Yeah. Yep. It is, Jordan. When I made the video I made back on March 6, 2016, y'all hear me say March 6, 2016, the prophetic message. And when I broke down the astrological alignment, and it was saying that humanity has become some egotistical, self-centered, and egotistical individuals. That is why it's so difficult for people to wake up. Again, when they're talking about, self-centered, ego-driven people, it's talking about we are just in our own, we are interested in our own self-interest. We're so preoccupied. The way this RAM has been set up, it has helped us mold our mindsets. And our mindsets have been molded to be preoccupied with our own selfish interests. And it's so hard for many people to break out of that. And that's, again, sorry to be the bearer of bad news and to keep repeating. That is why I believe that a difficult time is at hand for humanity overall in order to break us out of that preoccupation. That was a message I received in that same prophetic message from March 6th of 2016. And it's also common knowledge now that a lot of our growth as humans takes place through tragedy and trauma. And that's how we grow. Hate it. And so we go through difficult times. And the best way to, I'll say, traumatize people or people is to deal to have an impact, a negative impact upon a physical existence and their lifestyle, the food they eat, the clothes they wear, where they live, if they are safe, if they are warm, are they healthy? Can they get the best medicine? Those are the kind of things. The residual effects of the lack of those type of things is what will help wake people up. And that's unfortunate, but I think that's where we are. Now, I think I missed a whole lot of information as a latecomer to this game of astrology and mysticism and metaphysics. So I say that because I think these messages have been coming down here for a long time through, people from the past, your various gurus and stuff from the past, but it wasn't popular. It wasn't trending. People wasn't listening, or they didn't have enough outreach. And so when it was possible for us to have gone about it a different way, we missed that opportunity. And I wonder, let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever heard of, I don't know what the name, I'm going to say the Girls of Guatemala. I don't even know what the name of it was. But these were some, I want to say maybe, possibly, I might be getting all story all mixed up. I'm an airhead. But they say, for instance, they were part of Sicily with some young girls out, and the Virgin Mary descended upon them, and they had this moment of passion where Mary gave them some information. Did they ever reveal what that information was? Do anybody know what I'm talking about? Because I know I ain't making it make sense because they ain't none of them the facts. But that's generically how I remember the story. Many people are still, yeah. Well, what? Before I leave out of here, I want to talk about the phone ringing again. It's the same thing. When as a person that is able to project or perceive, presuppose maybe the future, and when it comes into being for a person, then they always go back to the person that forewarned them, because they think that the person forewarned them can help them resolve any issues, help them see, further ahead. Hello, Nancy. How you doing? What's been going on with you? help them see ahead. When a person delivers the original message, that is a time, like, for, okay, if say you get a reading or somebody tells you something, foresees something, that is a time of learning. It's a time of learning because you can't believe everything somebody say. So I would say the first time, that's the time of learning. You learn what? If they real, if they really capable of seeing or helping you see. But when that stuff come into reality, and you say, oh, okay. Next time they rock with you, then it's time for you to be learning. It's time for you to learn. Number one, you're supposed to be learning from the get-go. You should have kind of seen it coming. Even if you was in Dutch, like, this is kind of what they said. I can see this. I can see where it's about to go. But you're supposed to be learning. And so a person come back without learning. What I'm saying, they will come back and ain't learned nothing and want you to give them the answers. That's not how this thing is done. The thing is to, how to say, kind of like lead by example, and you say or share whatever you see or presuppose is going to happen. And in that experience, the person is supposed to be learning. And so by the time you come out of it, you supposed to know some magician tricks. The person that received the reading or, the foretelling, you supposed to come out with some magician tricks with full faith that you really learned a trick. You really got a magic wand. Because somebody that's capable that already walked you through it, you know what's going to happen. And when you see it, because you've already seen it, rather than being shocked or thrown off, you might be a little in disbelief, like, I don't know, this is really happening. But it makes it easier for you to pick up the lesson. And ultimately you end up with the tool at the end. And so rather than a person coming back wanting you to start at square one again, you supposed to already have some rods ready to rock with. You supposed to be able to come back and say, okay, this is what happened. If you was right, this was going to happen. Now, this is what you supposed to come back saying, this is what I foresee about to happen. And then we go ride that wave or that scenario, and we see what the lesson can be and what rods you need to pick up, that kind of thing. But it's not, a person is not, what I'm talking about is a call ahead. It's not supposed to come back again for a person to give you the answer again, because you're not learning. You're not learning and you're not spiritually developing. I don't know if I made that make sense or not. And say, okay, that makes sense within this realm. Right, within this realm. I feel the same way about age. All the ages within the being. Yeah. Regarding age, Nancy, here's a tip. And what is that? Don't acknowledge what the matrix thinks about age. I'll accept. The matrix decides what those ages look and act like. Yes, they do. And I that's a whole other thing. I ain't gonna go into it, Yanni. I swear to you, keep counting and you will deteriorate as matrix plan. That is so 100% true. Make a meme, put it all over Facebook because it's true. I mean, how do we really? Right. Acceptance. Acceptance of the rule to the matrix. I decline. And I'm fighting it off because I see that age and spirit that this matrix trying to get at me. And don't make me, I'm not going to cuss. I don't like what I see. I'm not playing with it. I discard it. It's like my mama would do. I say, cast it into the void. I don't have time for that. Oh, Lord, it's strange week. This was glad it's past. Sounds like I'm late for another amazing Nancy word up. Oh, I just been rambling. I just missed y'all. I was saying I just missed y'all. I came to visit y'all. I took me a time out, went and sat in the corner and talked to myself. and talk to myself. Well, you really don't know what. I really don't know what. I was talking about the age thing. I don't like, I've seen the being that, as far as age, this matrix has for me. I'm not in agreement with that. I do not, what's that word? Consent. I don't consent. Find me another avatar, because that ain't it. Oh, get the hell up out of here. In the third dimension, we age because of time and space. And in the fifth dimension, there is no age. And in the fifth dimension, we are not bound by time and space. No, no, not by time and space. I don't see that. We get to play in the fifth dimension based on what we get to play with time and space, but we are not bound by it. And when did they start counting time? All right, y'all. I done hung out. It's time to go back to real end time work. You said, I'm sorry, I'm pushing and seeing too soon. Oh, that's all right. I be being punked, y'all. I know I do be being punked, y'all. Well, I'm going to get off this live stream. I did want to do a live stream about mirrors. I want to do a live stream about mirrors. I don't think it'll be very deep. But I also wanted to do one about Aleister Crowley. I talked about that. I just wanted to go in detail and just focus on that and have that information out here. If anybody... No, this is a person that I foresaw what would happen in their life. And it happened. And ever since then. And that's what I'm saying. They didn't grab the tools. They're not getting their armor of God together. They just went through the experience and into the next experience and coming out with nothing. And I cannot be used. Now, enough is enough. Now, God dang. Obvious. I mean, I understand that this person is. It takes. How you turn this thing off? Again, I understand what a lot of people deal with as far as you don't, like, many of us weren't raised or brought up to believe in being able to see in the spirit and have these very spiritual gifts and this and that. And so when we meet people like that, we be like, oh, they kind of strange, or they bull crapping me, or they trying to get down on me, you know, especially financially. I mean, it's a hell of a hustle because you really can't prove it up front. But time will tell, and time will be the judge. And so when a person messes with me, time is the judge. So when they go through these experiences, I know many of them, especially people that are not spiritual. We all have a level of spirituality, but there are more people that's more based in physicality or grounded than others. And those that are more physical or more grounded, when things come to, what's the word, fruition, y'all know I always have a problem with that. And it is so, and it's undeniable, be using a new word, incontestable, trying to grow my vocabulary. Then it blows them away. And they know, especially physical people, they like concrete answers. And that is a concrete answer. And they want to keep coming back. But that's how people that are spiritual and have spiritual gifts, that's how they get used. Once a person say, oh, this shit real, and they want to keep coming back. And drain you of everything you got. No. Excuse me. That's why you post and say, don't cast your pearl among swine. Oh, Lord, you didn't push the send button again, because I don't know what that says. Something vision. Free vision what? What is that, Yanni? Oh. Boundaries. Yeah, everybody has to have boundaries, y'all. I'm not trying to improperly influence y'all. I ain't gonna tell y'all no name brands. But right now I'm in retirement. I'm relaxing. Drinking me some firewater. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? I forgot what I was talking about. Boundaries bring offerings. Yeah, I'll wait on it. I'll wait on it. See, that's another thing. That's what I had. I'm telling y'all, this is TMI. Based on, how I personally relate to this physical realm as Nancy, I am often, I'm very sought after. But what's the word? I am sought after, and I've shared this before, but not appreciated. Not on the level of a person giving a care. If I can meet the demands, the real life practical stuff, the demands of this physical world. People say, yeah, I appreciate they come after me. And they want my help. Oh my goodness. And so I'm the kind of person, remember I'm an Aquarius, so a part of me is a humanitarian. I'm the kind of person that jumps, boom, into action. You ain't got to say nothing. When we get it straight, this is me. When we get it straight, just remember where you come from. We go through war, we get it done, and then when they straight, they forget where they come from. And I lose a lot of people in my life, friends, associates, or family members, because they want to take me for granted. And I'm like, just back off me. You know what I'm saying? This is real stuff. This is a real physical, tangible world. And I understand when people say like spirit, like I made the video about spirituality for sale. It is. As long as we're in this physical realm and we are governed by the current laws and we have these demands that are posed upon us, we got to meet them or we starve and die. That's the real deal. But when people see that you are spiritual or you're spiritually inclined or you have a gift, they think you're supposed to give that to them for free. They think you're supposed to wear your little old self out for nothing. No, that ain't how it works. And so I end up most of the times by myself. And what happens? Over and over again. That ain't the only one. I ain't have a phone. I wouldn't even keep a phone for a long time. I couldn't go out the door. That's crazy. That's insane. Because my interest, like me personally, my interest is not so much in, like, I like hair and I like very nice things, but I'm not like a lot of people that I know that their life banks on having the best of the quality of this and that. I like it. I love it. But I also like going to, like I share here on you, I like going to the thrift store. I like going on the treasure hunts. I like being creative and artistic and things. I'm the kind that can sit with the wino and I can sit with a king. You know what I'm saying? We just people. You know what I'm saying? Playing different roles. But people get that twisted. They get that twisted. Especially, again, when you have like the spiritual calling or the spiritual gifts. They think that you shouldn't want nice things. Again, they don't regulate everything, but who wants to be homeless? Who wants to be hungry? Who wants to be bummy? Who doesn't want to have water to drink, knowing you got to have some water to drink in a week or you die? Who want? It doesn't matter if a person has a spiritual gift. A person, even with a spiritual gift, is in this physical world, and that's what people not getting, and that's crazy to me. More boundaries will cure that. Wake up that sore part of you. Call it out. Oh, that's the sword. That's why. That's why I don't know why it come around me, because of the swords. So that's me. No, nothing gets just lied. Right. I'm very upfront. I try to be fair. I'm human. I'm sure I got my faults. I get on folks' nerves. They get on mine. But I believe in working together. You know what I'm saying? Work together. Get the job done. Hold each other up. Take care of each other. You do you, I do me. But that's not how people see it. Again, most people around me, they want to turn up. I don't know if y'all know what turn up mean. They want to turn up. I turn up occasionally, but I'm more serious minded. You know, I have my log of to-do list, and then there's other people that come to me with their to-do list, and they don't have what? The foundation or the back to certain things. And that's what because I'm reared by Saturn, which I tell y'all, real by Saturn, I be telling y'all, I be trying to make the stuff make sense, that I've had to make sure that I got me. I got me. And divinity blessed me with the capability of at least a workable level of comprehension. Workable. It ain't the best, but you know, if I concentrate hard, I can, you know, make my way through some things most times. So thus far, all times thus far in my life. You know, I ain't always been like I wanted, but I done made it through. So I'm thankful for that. Says the system is corrupt and is robbing people of their lives, which is sickening. It is absolutely sickening. Absolutely sickening. It's horrible. And that's what we're basically striving for, Jordan, as you know, to liberate ourselves so that we can have our lives, so that we can claim our lives back. But in order for us to really claim our lives back, we have to be accountable. And rules, regulations, and laws, remember, they help to control the actions and the movement of the people. People have to be able to consciously, willingly, and intentionally be able to control their own actions and movements. And I know this might not be popular, but taking in consideration that there are, 7.5 billion people in this world. And most of us, I'll say, didn't even ask to be here. Most of us don't even know why we are here or how we got here, other than the basic, biological, transference to the world. We don't even know. So we have to be consciously and intentionally in control of our actions and our emotions, our movements in this physical world, especially in relationship to other people. If we want to claim our lives back, meaning we have to be able to govern ourselves. But most people can't govern themselves. They full of hate. They full of contempt. They start strife and everything else. And they have ill will toward others. Get in your space, get on your square, and man it. And that's all it takes. That's the first step. I'm showing people some winter frost. I have to be the healthy snob now to help them take me serious. Gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do what you gotta do. I'm like, okay, whatever. Whatever. And because it's deep. It's deep. Again, people have more interest in what they want, what they need, what they desire. They don't care about what you got going on. Great conversation, right? Remind and cause us to feel ourselves again, which means we are not that far from our souls. We appear to be. Exactly. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. We each are very, very close to our souls. We are very close to our souls. And the truth of the matter that, again, going to the soul level, remember we were talking about low frequency of the TVs, the old black and white TVs, and the high frequency, the high definition with the Wi-Fi there. Well, our souls is the high frequency Wi-Fi, but we down here on that old black and white, the frequency of our souls, high. The soul itself is a high frequency. But that frequency still has a spectrum. A spectrum. And that spectrum can be dark and it can be light. You know what I'm saying? It can be evil or it can be, what's the opposite of evil? Good, love. It can be that. And so that's a whole nother thing that we have going on. And again, I talk about how my channel is primarily to help us see where physicality and the metaphysics meet, where physicality and spirituality meet. which is the metaphysics, I assume. Just working with labels here. But this is what we need to see. And that's why I was doing the video, still talking about the videos I made. This video, I am. Who are you? Who am I? I am in the physical 3D, Nancy. But who am I? Who I am in this physical world is a physical manifestation of who I am on a soul level. You know, on a soul level. I love dropping logic, less emotion. Let's get to the root. Is logical goals, right? And then see, and that they say that's the shortcoming of like water sign, air signs. Sorry, air signs is that we lack the water, we lack the emotion. Oh, I'm very emotional, drama, aggressive. I can get passionate, but it's it's raw. It's like when we start talking about like the water signs and things like that, talking about emotions, their highest level of accomplishment, how can I say it, is they are supposed to be a highest level representation of what it means to work with the emotions, with that particular frequency. But when messing like around with a person like myself who is air, I'm just as emotional. But because that's, I'll say, not my concentration, my emotions rage like the sea. And so I'd rather stay in logic than go over into the emotions. Because once in the emotional realm, I rage like the sea. And I don't have, I'm not going to say it, but I'm just for this analogy, I don't have the training to control that raging sea. So that's why, as an air sign, I rather work in logic than in emotion. Now, that was just an analogy. Actually, who I am, based on my life experiences, I have come to be able to control the emotions. And I tell you about that double-headed dragon that is within me, the beast within me. I talk about, I be bringing up what I've talked about in the past so y'all can see how I've been talking about the same thing the whole time and how the whole story fits together. That those double-headed dragons are a beast of anger and aggression and things like that. And I told y'all how Divinity worked with me on that and showed me, when the Chariot card. Well, at the time, back then, when I was introduced to them, I didn't know about the Chariot card. But once I saw the Chariot card, I said, I understand. It was, I drew the correlation. It is hold on to the reins and control the beast within. You must be able to use these beasts or these spirits within in order to either aid you and assist you in life, or they will take control of you, Nancy, in the physical vessel and lead you to undesired circumstances and situations. And so I learned that lesson. Evil is live backwards, and most people are living in reverse, and that is evil. That's very true. That's very true. To be evil. I did a video about that one too. Yep. Living evilly. Evil. And that's what it's about. And that's what I talked about in the last live stream too, was the mark of the beast. And how I was saying the mark of the beast, as well as many other spiritual subject matters, are incontestable. Meaning saying it can't be argued. Can't be argued. The mark of the beast cannot be argued. We have people that theorize, suggest that the mark of the beast is a electronic device that will be placed in the right hand or on the forehead, or it's cryptocurrency, different things like that. But the truth of the matter, that which really is the 666 or the beast, is something that cannot be argued. Again, we were talking about spirituality, things we can't see. Is incontestable. It is a person's ability, or not ability. It is a person's overall choice to either embody and to execute evil, which is the mark of the beast. That is the mark of the beast. And those that are not marked with the 666, or the number of the beast, are those that will not consciously, that's on the low third dimensional realm as well as the highest realm, consent to embodying and executing evil. You won't find that within the person. And that when I say incontestable, I mean, see, this is stuff that man can't touch. You can't touch that. This is within. This is in the hidden realm. Man can't touch it. And so we know that anything man can touch, he gonna tamper with. He gonna manipulate. He gonna contaminate. So when we start talking about the mark of the beast, as far as externally in the physical, low dimensional, three-dimensional realm, man can tamper with it. That's contestable. We argue again. What is the mark of the beast? This kind of thing that I'm talking about is totally different. It's incontestable. It cannot be tested. It cannot be contaminated, distorted, because it is unseen. It is out of the hands of the physical man. This exists on a soul level, the mark of the beast. And that's something I don't hear folk talk about. But, yeah, who am I? Nancy, please see the movie Hereafter on Netflix. Hereafter. I think I've seen that title. Is that the one about the lady that lost their child or something? You will love it. A lady that lost her child or something like that. I'll look it up. Some say you have the 666 on your head already if your thoughts are wicked. There you go. That's about it. Yeah. I mean, we all have that dark and light energy, but let's talk about raw wickedness, raw, hardcore, ingrained from the soul wickedness, executed with. You heard me talk about there are people that exist that get off or have a fetish on hurting people, causing them pain, death, suffering, hunger. That is a state of evilness. A person might do something wrong. Again, being in the human vessel, we are susceptible to the human condition. The human condition makes us weak. And, when I talk about the human condition, I talk about the basics. We're susceptible to thirst, to hunger, to hot, to cold. All of these particular spiritual entities we are susceptible to. And, what did I say? I forgot what I was saying. I be forgetting. That's the fire water. A child was lost, but that wouldn't be the first thing you remember about the great film. Really? Okay, because I knew a child was, okay, I'm going to watch it now, Yanni, because you done told me, because I done went past that title so many times. So I don't see no movie about no missing kid, well, or passed away child, and I don't see that. But because you said so much more, I'll take y'all advice, and I got you. Even with a G, I understand you. And so I'm going to watch it. That's what I'll be my bedtime movie this evening. But yeah, that mark of the beast is interesting. It was something else I was about to say. Ooh, fire water. Well, this is I might as well finish it. Why leave a drop? Why? Children, Do not do these things until you are mature and ready. Do what? Drink fire water. You know you're ready to drink fire water when you know what fire water is. LOL. Even with a G, make yourself super cozy. Before the film. Okay. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all, I had been up in my bedroom for a couple of months, basically. That was been my primary space. And so I needed more space, so I came down into my main hall, my living room. And you can see my bed blanket over there. And my, where it go? How you do this on the line? Right there, my pillow. Blanket, pillow. So I've been here on the couch, and I, hooked the laptop up to the flat screen TV so I can sit up and have the, what do they call it, the theatrical kind of thing, and enjoy my space. That's why y'all been seeing family members and friends come through so often. When Uranus moves back into Taurus, so I was saying that right, huh, Jordan? When Uranus moves back into Taurus, get ready for excitement. I think it's going to be exciting. Taurus, tell me, y'all, what is it? When it comes to second house of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, something that you are fixated on, that you want, that enhances your lifestyle. Are you the person that likes to go out to the mall and turn up and go shopping and, do that, buy you a nice pair of name brand glasses? Not like, man, I pulled these glasses out at the store with the handle broke off. People just staring at me. But what is it? Renovating your house, decorating, getting a new car, getting it reupholstered, getting your furniture reupholstered. What? Oh, some good loving. Some good loving, some tenderness, some sensuality. Like I said, I can't even dive off into sex and stuff like that because I probably break YouTube rules because I would get deep on it. Getting a nice back rub, going to see a masseuse. That all those kind of things has to do with Taurus. Talking about your purse and with savings and money and I don't know. What do you like? Some diamond rings? What? Things like that. All of those things make life worth living. Second house Taurus ruled by Venus is the haves and the have-nots. That's the time period we're moving into. The haves and the have-nots. And will you be a person that have or won't you? As we move from the old paradigm into the new paradigm. What can you do in this new paradigm that can help you be a person that is considered one that has what they want, what they desire? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. It can be beautiful. Subtlety, depending on your alignment. Subtlety. Could you imagine suddenly, depends, of course, what your chart is in relationship to the astrological energies at any given time. But you could suddenly hit the lottery. You could suddenly get a, what do you call it, an inheritance. You can suddenly get a raise or promotion. You could suddenly meet the person of your dreams. Suddenly what? Or you can have this ingenious idea. You can remember in one live stream I talked about Taurus, Uranus and Taurus promises us like some new colors or new textures. All of a sudden, this enlightenment, this moment of enlightenment, or the light bulb comes on and says, "This is the texture. This is the color. This is the trend." And so yeah. Uranus and Taurus does have some wonderful possibilities for so many people in this physical world. It really does. But for others, Jordan, oh my, I try not to worry. Based on especially how I relate to this physical world. You ready for fire water when the Matrix imposes a social security number on you? Got that already. that mother sucker ride with you. And see, though, so you bring up the Social Security number, Yanni, and that's interesting because I just assume. I do assume a lot. And I assume because of who I was when I was younger. I just tell you, I was so naive. Like my Social Security number, I didn't know rolled with me for the rest of my life. I didn't know everything was stuck and glued to that mother sucker and would follow me forever. And if I made a mistake, it was stuck to that damn number. And so those are the kind of things I try to share, especially for the younger viewers, to understand that that's your herd number. That the government don't really even know your name. They don't care about your name. They know you by that cow number, that Social Security number. And anything you done did is attached to it. Law. Back to law. You got to go get you somebody, not you, Yanni. I'm just about whoever watch. You got to go get you a tax ID number. Start you a business or something. Make it happen for yourself so you can have a whole different herd number. Saying you're trying to make it happen or something. Also, the younger generation will start doing mobile banking, and the convenience stores are going out of business. The system is falling apart, which is great. It is. The system as we know it is falling apart. It's not. It's being transformed. I would say the best word is the system that we know now is being transformed. And you are absolutely right. Convenience stores, visiting a convenience store will be different. Definitely. Again, money is the primary thing. The cryptocurrency. I'm surprised Terenzo ain't in here. The cryptocurrency is the system that we should watch as it's being put in place, set up, because that is what will be our monetary power, determining what we can buy and what we cannot buy, and where we can go and where we cannot go. And that is interesting. That's a whole interesting concept. And I would love to do a video or a live stream on it, but I know it would take so much research to really get down into the grit of it. Because the reality is that money is something that we created as the magician. Well, I didn't create it. Our system created it as magicians. And now they're doing the magician thing again. They're waving their wands. And now they're about to create what's they call it again? The cryptocurrency that can be turned off with a switch. That's deep. That's deep. LOL, you heard number. What's the first 5 things you do if you had $5 million right now? $5 million. The first thing I would do is buy probably a 4-family flat, and that would be for me and my children to live in if they so desired. Otherwise, it would be empty. I would buy everyone a car so they can go and get to work, because you must gotta work, even with $5 million. I would pay off all of my debts, and then I would open up a nonprofit organization. I would move to create, they got these miniature houses. I would create villages. I'm sure most of the property in the city of Detroit is purchased, but if it's not, I would buy up like blocks, and on each block I would make these miniature villages, and some would be for those that have I would kind of have to isolate and separate people, being judgmental, and I would have villages for those that suffer with drug addiction and alcoholism and things like that. On that particular block or within that village would also be like caregivers to offer them support, and AA and all that would be right there. Right there. I would then other villages for people that like me. I'm struggling. I'm not going to fake the funk. I struggle. And I hate like I said, our lives belong to somebody else. I would want to liberate people, give them the opportunity to buy their own home, how much ever that little house costs to make. I would allow them to buy it at a reasonable price where they could still have a lifestyle and have something to look to. Don't even get me started, Yanni, that they have something to look to in the near future, but still have money in their pockets to go make it happen. They could live life and enjoy life. Ain't no landlord or nobody over them talking about who you can or can't have in your house. We all, baby. But can people really work together? In each one of those villages, we would have a community garden. Oh my goodness. Oh, it would be turned up. It would be turned up. No, don't make me cry. This fire water will make me cry. People are doing online shopping now. Online business are the thing now. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. You see them videos online, Jordan, where you can order online and the people go shopping for you and bag it up and they just deliver it to you. What they call that thing? Like they got the Uber Eats, what's that place that deliver the stuff? Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and there's one more. And they bring whatever you order to your house. To your house. The one with the best, the one with the least needs wins. Yep. 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 That's so true. Yep. Break my heart. And that's one of the things that I personally deal with. I'm like, now, and this is the thing, Yanni, you know, anybody's reputation precedes them. And so my reputation precede me. And people be like, they'll tell me, oh, Lord, you a cheap date. Because that's the kind of response. You a cheap date. They be like, well, what you want to do? Man, it depends on what season it is. Well, whatever I want to do, I want to do. I mean, it's been times that all I felt like doing was going and have a picnic. I like fishing. I'm a girl. I like fish. I'll put a worm on the hook. I want to go fishing. I might want to sit there and cook the fish right there. Clean it, gut it, dress it, and cook it right there. And just lay out there in my booty shorts. That might be what I want to do. If that's what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do. And at other times, I get dialed up and I put on the long hair and the eyelashes and the girdle and the bustier, and I do that, and I go out and I sit and I dine finely, you know, and I take in the theater and I go see the opera. This is life, and I'm here to enjoy and experience it. And so, again, you some of the one with the least needs wins. That's correct. But what I'm saying is, like you said, the people that win, I think they're like be stuck. Like you said, they don't really have needs. How can I've always been like this, and this has been my shortcoming. I need to know that you okay, so I can be okay. And I ain't being funny. That's not a good thing in this realm. And I often get got because of that. But then again, I got them two double-headed dragons. So that's what has protected me in my whole life. Because you can only go so far with me. I let you go as far as I'm willing to be generous. But when I see that a person is taking advantage, that's when them dragons come out. And what I say, I'd rather stay logical than to swim in the water. Because that swimming in the water is a whole different experience. Whole different experience. But yeah, what would you do, Yanni, if you had $5 million? What would you do, Jordan, if you had $5 million? You know, oh man, it's not a lot that I want. I've gotten to travel. I got to travel. I would just like to see beauty around me. I can create beauty. Like I said, that's what's promised based on the astrological interpretation. The way I interpret the energy, it's promised that things, at least in most parts of the world, will be very beautiful. But it will be the spirit of the beings and the people that reside in this garden. They will be the serpent. They will have the mark of the beast on them in this beautiful garden. And so, beauty is easy to acquire, but it's about getting to the soul of the people. I would really like to be able to get to the soul of the people, include myself, because I'm in jeopardy every day. Lord knows I am, because I be wanting to raise hell. Them, But I done got old and wore out. The universe is listening. Beautiful, speak it. I'm teary to it. It will be. I agree. I think about the miniature houses. When I first saw, I was like, that's the answer. That's the answer to homelessness. Like even, I think about all of these programs. I say, if I could, get on one of these platforms, talking about like government platforms, or join or become a part or be hired within the government system. So you can't go into the government system as far as an employee with the intent, I don't believe, are really been doing good. It's all capitalism. Would you say, Jordan, your videos make it's all about capitalism? Because there is an answer. These things that what the name is, the president, Trump, that he's doing, okay, whatever he's doing. But I know, again, going back to the law, politics, federal, state, local, there are answers that can offset our financial issues. And it can start right here at home locally. See, they don't want to do it. All of that is part of the illusion too. Because I know a lot of answers, but they're not going to let me, especially based on my life thus far and how it's set up. They're not going to let a person like me get in office. They're not going to let a person, and even if they do, they're not going to let me wield the power and make it work. Because there are answers that exist that they're not executing. It'd be different if they tried them. Some of these answers that I know exist that can resolve some issues, they tried them and they failed. No, they never tried them. And these are some of the most intellectual people in these positions that exist. And if they not individually intellectual, collectively, they are one big brain. And so I know they didn't have to think about, or it came across their mind, some of these answers to answer some of these issues of homelessness, drug addiction, and different things like this, mental illness, all of these things. They don't give a flying freaking fart no hoot. Let me drink my fireworks because I'm going to get started on here. Y'all don't say another thing to me because I'm going to get to really preaching. I used to say I need a swimming pool in my house. I haven't been swimming in quite a while. I really have not. I used to go to the community center and go swimming. Maybe in the summer. Wow, what happened? It moved. I love this fishing scenario. Simple rich. I love fishing. My kids used to get so mad at me. Monks think in this way, keep me simple. Yeah, I used to tell my kids, I had an old 1985 station wagon. I loved it. When I would put her in drive, she would sit up, and I'd be like, tell my kids, whenever she sit up, we on our way. It would sit, when I put her in drive, she would sit up, and we would go, and the back would let down. It was like an old Brady Bunch station wagon, and the back would let down. I've been filled up the back trunk with the whole picnic basket, the fishing rods, throw my little 5 kids in the back. We go out to the park and we go lay our little blanket out or the picnic table, what we're going to do with all the picnic and stuff. And we would go out there and fish. And we didn't never, my son only caught fish every now and then. Me, I ain't never catch nothing. I keep trying though. One day. But it was the most beautiful thing to me. And I would just enjoy it. My kids would be mad. They'd be kicking rocks. I was like, why don't y'all just enjoy this? And so one time my son caught a fish immediately. And so he made me empty out the bins with the ice and stuff in it. And we put the water in it from the beach. And he kept that fish until it died. I told him, oh, we going to cook this fish. It was a nice fish. We going to cook this fish. I'm going to clean it. We going to dress. I'm going to fry it. He was ready to fight me. He kept that fish like... But the rest of the time, they were mad when I would make them go fishing, but I enjoyed it so. I enjoyed it so. I think I enjoyed, doing those kind of things more. But then it was the time that I had the grown up things. Like one year, I'm just kind of rambling. I felt like being fabulous. Fabulous. So I told my friends, associates, and family, I said, I feel like being fabulous. Let's be fabulous. It was coming up on New Year's Eve, a few months before New Year's Eve. I said, let's go out. I said, let's do it big. Let's have a Cinderella night out. And that's what I meant. They know when I say something, I mean it. And so everybody bought ballroom gowns. Beautiful ballroom gowns. Got our hair done, the long gloves, had the stretch satellite limousine. We had the food catered. Oh, it was lovely. And so I've done a little bit of everything in my life, and I enjoy it. But it was nothing. I'm not being funny. It was nothing like just being out in the fresh air on a warm summer's day underneath a tree, casting a line out and listening to a little music. Oh my God, and eating some potato salad. Oh, that's beautiful. I've done some things. I've done some things. I will say this. It has been good. It has been good. But right now, it's effed it up. It's effed it up. I'm going to call it effed it up. Oliver, quit my job, start an online business to help people get out of financial slavery, aka the 9 to 5, so they can do their passion for a living, making $1 million income. That's what that's what I'm talking about. Are you ready, Jordan? Are you ready? You ready. You've been getting that education on to help them do that. You ready now? I'm gonna be one of them people. I'm gonna be one of them doggone people because this is annoying. It's annoying having to work that crap. First thing I would make, get a cat health in shape, and situated. Then I find the healthiest spa and have people get me in greater shape, internal and external. I feel you being worked over. Get me right so I can come back and create. There you go. You say you got to align yourself first. I hear that. Definitely have to align yourself. Got to align yourself. With Uranus and Taurus, we're heading down the road. People being true to themselves while receiving cryptocurrency and being free from government control. I really hope so. 3, I find a financial advisor to grow the money. Yeah, gotta do that. That's the business. That's the business part of it. I build an earth-friendly house. Or oh yeah, oh that would be. I thought about that too, Yanni. An earth-friendly house built in the side of a hill or a rolling mountain or something like that. Oh, look. um. That would be so nice. I create a business that taught youth to be wise, elegant, dignity, intelligent, great thinkers. Yes. Oh, a whole generation of young, beautiful, intelligent, elegant folks because they want to be. That'd be beautiful. I pay them to be excellent human beings until it became normal for them. And then we'd help them develop their own ideas that help themselves and others. Yeah, pay it into the future. Definitely. That's what I'm talking about. I just wonder if other people were here, what would they say they would do if they had $5 million? What would they do? You know what I'm saying? What would we do if we had the liberty to bring our heart's desires truly into the world? Is it possible that humanity, for the most part, has become selfish, self-centered, and self-focused and ego-driven because we only got one life, it's limited, it's claimed by another? So if at any moment we have an opportunity to make something happen, we got to make it happen for ourselves in that moment right now, because we know tomorrow we be called back to work or whatever. But if we truly had liberty and freedom, what would we really do? You know, I think that we, of course, would get ourselves lined up, like he's talking about Yanni, and then whatever else we would do would end up really benefiting another. I think that's what will really happen. I really do. And we could push some of them sorry 666 folks out of this realm. That's what could happen. Um, it's gonna happen until Pluto and Saturn go into Aquarius, where we're going to see something we've never seen before. Oh yeah. When is that? Do you know when the Pluto and Saturn go into Aquarius? Is that starting to move more toward like 2050? I remember. No. About 2050 or something like that. Yeah, if that be the case, if it's the alignment I'm thinking you talking about, right, we're going to really see something we've never ever seen before. Um, it's a great idea to ask people around you so you can see what the quality is around you. Great for the first date too. It's between, so wait a minute, Pluto and Saturn go into Aquarius 2021 and 2023. Maybe that's why I remember seeing something about 2023. I really haven't been dealing with the astrological energies too much because again, my hands are becoming disformed and it's very consuming. I've condensed it as much as I can, and it takes so much of my mental energy to the point I'm trying to just safeguard it. I've never seen a healthy girlfriend. How about that being the surprise Jordan's talking about? Ooh, would that be nice? A healthy partner, huh? Ooh, that would be nice. That would be really nice. Oh my God. To really experience love in a very, or closest to the divine way as possible. Wow. That would be healing. That would be healing extraordinary. Oh my God. I probably wouldn't be no more good. I'll be rotten. Well, y'all, I enjoyed my evening and my discussions with y'all. Hopefully we'll touch base soon. I just can't come on live without a topic or a subject matter to, talk about. And it's difficult, especially since I'm not really following haven't been interpreting the astrological energies for the recently. My fish has learned how to watch TV. She comes to the same spot every time there's TV on and sit here and watch it. Amazing, but she's happy. I can tell she's happy. Shock me, universe. Shock me with love, universe. That's how we go in this live stream. By 2020, from now and beyond, even beyond 2023, whoever watching this live stream, oh divinity, we ask you to reach down here, shock us with love. Shock us with what we love in a beautiful way that we will be we will be so in agreement with and so appreciative of. $5 million wouldn't hurt either. Continue to visit the $5 million to start in the mind. Night, love. Your fish watches TV and fire. She probably got her little fire water going on too. I love y'all. Good night. Enjoy your night. If I can remember how to get off here. Once I'm on here for a while, I forget.